We have breaking news right now. It's going to be another bloodbath, another day of Armageddon on Wall Street for the stock market as China has imposed 34% retaliatory tariffs on all American goods beginning on April 10th in just a matter of days. Folks, this trade war is escalating, and I have all the news for you this morning. Before I continue, to all those who have become paid subscribers to this channel, to my Substack, or sent one-time donations via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas, thank you so much for supporting my work. Your support is invaluable, and I can only do this work thanks to your support. All my news will always be free, but I can only continue doing it full-time with your support. So please consider becoming a paid subscriber to my Substack or sending that one-time donation. With that, here's the news. So China has imposed this 34% retaliatory tariff. It's covering all American goods that are imported into China. And where it's going to hit hardest the most is the Midwest and the farmlands in America, where China imports a number of soybean products from the United States, and soybean farmers here in the United States will feel the effects almost immediately of these Chinese tariffs. If iPhones were forced to be made in the United States, we have new calculations. It could cost up to $3,500 per iPhone if Apple was forced to make these iPhones in the United States and not in China. Remember, yesterday I reported that because of tariffs, the price of an iPhone 16 will rise about 40%. But now, if Apple chooses to have to make its iPhone in the United States and not make all the parts in China, you're going to be spending not just 43% more, but over 300% more for an iPhone. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has remained bullish on his tariffs policy, telling investors that his policies will never change. And Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, says that the markets will adjust to U.S. tariffs. Now, speaking about the markets, it's not a good day for the markets already. Dow futures were down more than 1,000 points. The S&P 500 futures extended decline to 2%. NASDAQ fell 2.3%. The markets are lower across the board, and they're going to continue to reduce throughout the day. Yesterday was the worst day for the stock market since 2020, since the height of the pandemic, when literally everything shut down. Today, we could potentially see an even worse day, given the fact that other countries around the world are beginning to retaliate against United States tariffs. In addition, it's not just the markets, the big banks extended pre-market declines. This is impacting the big banks. This is impacting tech companies. This is impacting companies across Wall Street right now. And as a result, JP Morgan, one of the most critical banks on Wall Street, one of the ones that gives the most indications when it comes to a recession, has raised its recession odds in the United States this year to 60%. It is now more likely than not, according to JP Morgan, that the United States will enter into a recession this year. That is a significant increase from even back in January of this year, but especially since the election. In addition, Donald Trump fired the director of the National Security Agency, General Timothy Haw, who led the United States Cyber Command, was let go along with his deputy at the National Security Agency, Wendy Noble. This comes all after Laura Loomer, the right-wing conspiracy theorist, visiting the White House, speaking with Donald Trump in the Oval Office, giving hiring and firing recommendations. And now we saw a purge at the National Security Council, and now a purge at the National Security Agency. In South Korea's constitutional court has ordered that impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol would be removed from office. He had been pending removal after he was impeached. He will now be officially removed from office. Judge James Boasberg is expected to begin contempt proceedings against the Trump administration in a significant move for the federal judge. These contempt proceedings would concern whether or not the Trump administration intentionally violated his order to turn the trend at Aragua deportation flights around. These deportation flights continue to go despite Judge Boasberg's order. In addition, oil prices have plummeted 8% to a 4-year lows as trade wars fears continue to increase. Folks, it's going to be a very rough day for the economy, a very busy day for the American people, and I'll be providing you updates throughout the day. Tomorrow, I'll be at the Hands Off March or protests in D.C., the largest anti-Trump protest since the start of his administration, covering it for you all. So stay tuned for content from there, and I'll see you this evening with another evening news update. Thank you so much for your support, and take care, everyone.